All right, House GOP leadership pulling a procedural vote on the proposed short-term spending bill. They want to do this 1-month extension, right, to get us to October for the budget. It is a sign that there is not enough votes to pass this, though, this 1-month CR in a divided Republican conference. Fiscal hawks argue the month-long budget continuing resolution is weak, only cutting 8% of this country's massive spending that is still much higher than 2019 levels, even though COVID is over. They claim it also breaks a promise they were given back in January by Speaker McCarthy that they would fund the government through separate appropriations bills, not just one big bill anymore. Florida Congressman Byron Donalds is on the Freedom Caucus, also trying to get this CR passed as well. And, sir, it's good to have you on. These are a lot of these people are people that you're typically allied with that are going against you in this moment. You're trying to get this CR passed. The fiscal hawks, at least some of them, don't like it. Why should they support it?
Well, I mean, let's get caught up to speed. It's been an interesting day on Capitol Hill. The House leadership decided to pull that bill off the floor. Like you were saying, it didn't really have the votes to succeed. But what it has allowed for is that members from all over our conference are coming in. I'm actually in the whip's office right now as I talk to you, trying to figure out ways to come to agreements on the 12 appropriation bills and what the top line spending numbers are going to look like on those items. So we're in the middle of those negotiations right now. I think to take a step back and understand a few things, members of the Freedom Caucus, whether they agreed with trying to cut 8% and secure our border or not, what's really occurring here is a focus on getting 12 appropriation bills across the line. We have always agreed on that. And whether there was a short-term measure or not, the purpose has always been to get those 12 appropriation bills done so we can get the woke weaponized crap out of our government and be focused on securing the border for the American people.
Let me play your fellow congressman from Florida, Matt Gaetz, on the House floor yesterday. Take a look at this.
The Donalds CR is a permission slip for Jack Smith to continue his election interference as they are trying to gag the president, the former president of the United States, and the leading contender for the Republican nomination. And the Donalds CR abandons the principle that it is only a review of single subject spending bills that will save this country and allow us to tweeze through these programs and force these agencies to stand up and defend their budget.
That's the criticism. Is he being realistic in this moment? I mean, Republicans don't have a lot of room to play with here. They don't have a lot of power in the House. They just barely have control.
Well, no, I don't think it's fully accurate. Look, first thing is that if we have a government shutdown or not, Jack Smith is still allowed to operate as a special prosecutor. Special prosecutors have always exempted themselves because the Department of Justice exempts them if the government is shut down. So a shutdown doesn't stop Jack Smith from his political persecution of President Trump. That's number one. Number two, the examination of the 12 appropriation bills has been going on actually for several months. The problem is that there's been no agreement on what the top line spending numbers are. Now, obviously, that we're in the 11th hour, and the most unfortunate thing is Washington always seems to work on deadlines and cliffs. Now members are in the office actually trying to figure out how to land on top line numbers on those bills.
Yeah, if we get this 1 month, if you get that passed, are we going to see a difference in how this is all done when we actually pass a real budget? I mean, the changes that we want to see made, that this country is not going to be spending so much, not going to be putting all these bills together where nobody knows what's in them and they don't get read. Is that all going to be fixed over the course of the next month?
I will tell you from the House of Representatives, that process has already started. There has been more examination over the 12 appropriation bills than at any point in a Congress in the last 30 years. Good. That's talking to members who've been around that long. There's never been this level of deliberation, and that deliberation continues. I think where we are is agreeing to what the overall spend is going to be. The Senate's not doing any of this work, by the way. The House is. So do I think we're going to have an ability to get these 12 bills done? My hope is yes, because members are locked in on this thing, and that's frankly the way it should go overall.
Understood.
Are we going to need more time? I'm not quite sure yet. It is maybe possible. But one of the reasons we looked at a short-term measure to extend government spending is because we do have members who are talking with Democrats about essentially voting for a clean, continuing resolution which would change nothing at the border and nothing or spent on spending.
Yeah.
And the short-term resolution was to avoid that in order to continue the work on the appropriation bills.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's so hard to keep the Republicans together. They always manage to do this. All right, Byron Donalds, Congressman, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.